Hello, hello, and
Hello,
welcome to
hello.
Hello.
another episode of the Global
Global
Digital
Digital
Digital.
Success
Success
Talk.
Talks.
Talk.
Uh, happy and blessed Tuesday to everyone, or happy and blessed Wednesday if you are on Wednesday already. So let's find out what is our topic for today.
Good morning, everyone. Today's topic is why small daily habits often create extraordinary results. Over to you.
Thank you, Falak. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking today. But before we dive into our topic, let us introduce ourselves. So, hi everyone, my name is Sandy. I'm originally from Panama, but currently residing in Surrey, British Columbia, Canada. I also work in the movie industry, and I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hi, my name is Patsy. I am originally from Brunei, currently staying in Edmonton, Alberta, and I'm mother of four and grandmother to nine. And I'm a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello everyone, my name is Rosemary Espiritu Ordaxi. I am proud Ilongga from Iloilo, Philippines, a wife, a mom of four, and a healthcare worker here in BC. And I'm proud to be a business owner and a mentor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Isabel. I am originally from Mexico. I am residing in North Carolina. I am a wife, a mother, a grandmother, a former educational assistant, and now a proud digital business owner and mentor.
Hello, hello. Hi there. I'm Falak, originally from Pakistan, residing in Indiana, USA, building of a better future for my family from educator to retail operations specialist. Every challenge has shaped my journey. Today, as a digital entrepreneur and mentor, I help community believe in new possibilities. Thank you.
Hi everyone. Hello. My name is Yesenia, but everyone knows me as Jessie. I'm a nurse by profession. I live here in Ontario, Canada, but I'm originally from Cuba. I'm also a proud digital business owner and a mentor.
Good morning, mabuhay to everyone. My name is Connie. I'm originally from the Philippines and now residing here in British Columbia, Canada. I'm a stepmom, a wife, a grandma, a great grandma, and a digital business owner.
Thank you, everyone. Okay, so let's dive into our topic for today.
Today is Global Digital Success Talks. Why small daily habits often create extraordinary results.
Yes, thank you, Patsy. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So, welcome back to another episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. And today's conversation, is about something every one of us, has control over, and that is our daily habits. Many people wait for the perfect opportunity or the perfect timing or the perfect motivation. But extraordinary lives are usually built through ordinary actions repeated consistently. So the little things we choose to do every day many times become that foundation for the life we want to create tomorrow. So today we'll discuss 6 reasons why small daily habits often create that extraordinary results. And for that, we're going to be talking about the following points.
Hi, sorry. So today's points are point number one is small habits create momentum. Point number two, daily habits shape our identity. Point number three, consistency builds confidence. Number four, small improvements compound over time. Number fifth, daily habits prepare us for opportunities. And the last one for today is going to be extraordinary results begin with ordinary choices. So stay with us.
Thank you, Jesse. So that's what we're going to be talking today. So let's dive into our first point.
Um, so the first one will be small habits create momentum. I'll begin with a question. Have you ever felt overwhelmed by a big goal and wondered where to even begin? One lesson I learned in life is that momentum doesn't come from doing something big once. It comes from doing small things consistently. As a full time caregiver for my husband after his stroke, I couldn't make huge changes overnight, but I could take small daily steps. I could attend a training, join a mastermind, learn a new skill, or connect with a supportive community. At first, those actions seem small, but over time, they create momentum. One lesson led to another. One skill led to more confidence. One connection led to a new opportunities. The progress wasn't always obvious, but it was happening. The same is true in our everyday's life. We don't have to have everything figured out today. We simply need to keep showing up and taking the next step. So, my message to everyone is small actions repeatedly, consistently create momentum. And momentum has the power to take us farther than we ever imagined when we first started. Thank you. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Connie. So yes, Connie just talked about small habits create momentum. So thinking about pushing a shopping cart, it's harder to get it moving at first, but once it's rolling, it becomes much easier. So that's exactly how small daily habits creates momentum in our lives. So now let's move on to our second point.
So, I'll be talking about daily habits shape our identity. Throughout my practical knowledge and my leadership background, I have learned one thing: our daily habits quietly shape the person we become. Every small choice strengthens our character and moves us closer to our destination, to our ultimate goals. Success is not built by occasion effort, but by consistent effort repeatedly over time. When we choose with purpose, confidence, and resilience, the outcomes are entirely different. The life we dream of begins with the habits we practice today, and showing up is one of the key. We become what we repeatedly practice. Growth is reflected in our everyday decisions and situations. The life was built in often the result of the habit we choose each day. So, my reflection today is your future is not created by one big decision, it's built by the small habits you choose every day, and every single day. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Falak. So Falak just talked about daily habits shape our identity, and just like Falak mentioned, it's just like brushing. When you're brushing your teeth, you don't become healthier because you brush them once. It's the daily habit that makes the difference, right? So just the small everyday choices that we make, gradually shape that person that we become. So that's for that. Now let's move on to the next point.
Okay, point number three. Consistency builds confidence. And there for a long time, I thought confidence was something people were born with. I believe that successful people were simply more confident than anyone else. But my journey has taught me something completely different. Confidence doesn't come before action does. And as an immigrant, a mother, and a woman who spent over 20 years in the corporate world and later started building a new path in life, there was many times when I doubted myself. I didn't always feel ready, experienced, or qualified, but I made a commitment to keep showing up anyway. Some days the progress was small, Some days it felt like nothing was happening at all. But every time I kept a promise to myself. Every time I learned something new, every time I took one more step forward. My confidence didn't grow um, all at once. It grew little every time and stronger. I realized that confidence isn't built by waiting until you feel completely ready. It's built by providing or proving to yourself over and over that you can keep going even when things are uncertain. So, the small actions we repeat consistently become evidence that we're capable of more than we think or believe. And today, I want to leave you with this. Confidence grows every time you choose progress over excuses and action over doubt. Thank you.
Thank you, Isabel. So yeah, so Isabel just talked about consistency builds confidence, and just like Isabel mentioned, another good example of that is learning to ride a bike. When we first start to riding a bike, it feels like wobbly, so you don't have the balance, right? But every time that you get back on, your confidence start growing. Eventually, you ride the bike normal, and you have no problem. And that is because consistency, when we focus on consistency and not the perfection, is what eventually keeps you moving forward. And Isabel also mentioned consistency turns the small efforts into lasting confidence. So there you go. So now let's move on to the next point.
The next point is small improvements compound over time. Wow, we like to hear the word improvement, eh? Good evening, good morning, everyone. We often think that success comes from one big breakthrough or one life changing moment. But in reality, lasting growth usually happens through small, consistent improvement over time. Every lesson we learn today builds on what we learned yesterday. Every new skill, every good habit, every small step forward creates a stronger foundation for our future. The challenge is progress often feels invisible in the beginning. Sometimes we don't see immediate results, and we wonder if our efforts are making a difference. But just because we can't see the progress doesn't mean it's not happening. Think about planting a seed. For a while, nothing seems to change. Then one day, growth becomes visible. Personal growth works in the same way. Small improvements may seem insignificant today, but they accumulate over the weeks, months, and years. Little by little, they create extraordinary results. That's why the principle of compounding is so powerful. Small actions repeated consistently can completely transform our lives. As the saying goes, small improvements become extraordinary when given enough time. So my encouragement to all of us to today is this: don't underestimate the small steps. Keep learning, keep growing, keep moving forward, because never underestimate the power of consistent progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Patsy. So yeah, so Patsy just talk about small improvements compound over time, and just like Patsy mentioned it, it's like putting a spare change in a jar every day. So at first, it might not seem like a lot, but after a few months, you start seeing, and get surprised how much you have. That small amount of coins that you put at the beginning has grown into a lot. So the same thing applies, just like small daily improvements that we do every day, it add up to big results over time. We do have a comment from Falak. She say absolutely, and also she say small improvements become extraordinary results. So there you go. So now let's move on to the next point.
Good morning, everyone. So, my point is daily habits prepare us for opportunities. One thing I've learned throughout my journey is that opportunities often come when we least expect them. The question is not whether opportunities will come, but whether we are prepared when they do. As an RA in the Philippines and later worked in Saudi Arabia for 12 years, I developed daily habits of discipline, continuous learning, and serving others. Those habits help prepare me when I moved to Canada to begin a new chapter of my life. I had to study again, adapt a new environment, and continue growing in my healthcare career. The same principle applied when I started my online business. I didn't have a background in digital business. I was not tech savvy, but my consistent attending trainings and I was tech and learning from mentors and taking small daily actions, I gradually developed new skills and greater confidence. When new opportunities came, I was more prepared to say yes because I have already invested in my personal growth. Research shows that consistent daily habits help build confidence, resilience, and readiness for future opportunities. Success is really about luck. It's often the result of preparation meeting opportunity. So, my takeaway for you all, the habits you build today prepare you for the opportunities of the future. Keep learning, stay consistent, and trust that the small action you take today can open doors tomorrow. Back to you, Sandy.
Thank you, Daxi. So, Daxi just talked about daily habits prepare us for opportunities. And just like Daxi mentioned, another example would be, when you put gas into your car, instead of leaving it empty, you put gas. So that way, when you have any unexpected trip that it might come up, you are prepared because you have some gas in your car. So the same thing applies when you're ready to when you face opportunities, you are prepared for that. So when the opportunity arrives. So that's for that point. So now let's move on to the next one.
All right, so the next point is simple true. Extraordinary results begin with ordinary choices. Okay, success is rarely about one big decision, no? It's about thousands of small decisions that we make, Daily shows create long term direction, so consistency is often more important than intensity. Great achievement usually begin with simple daily disciplines. So, extraordinary lives are often built through ordinary choices repeatedly, consistently. So, your future is being shaped by by the choice you make today, and this is so true. As I say, is many people think success come from one big moment, one big life change decision, but in reality, that's not true. Success came because it's usually built to small actions, small choices that we make every day. So you choose to read a few pages instead of crawling on your phone. You choose to do exercise instead of staying on your couch. You choose to learn a new skill, maybe you choose to save a little bit money for something that you want, maybe you choose to encourage someone, those are small choices that we make every day. So they may seem like ordinary decisions, but in reality they create extraordinary outcomes. So the little things that we consistency shape, it shape our personality, and it shaped the person that we're becoming. So think about, like, I would say, like planting a seed. You don't see a tree. You don't see a tree overnight. It takes time. It's the time, care, and consistency. It's same happen here. It take time to see all of these small actions to compound, but just treat it like a seed. You put it on the ground, it's growing. You don't see it, but it will become a big tree. So don't underestimate it today. A small like decisions or choices, because they may produce in the future a big results. Progress isn't always visible. right away. But step by step, it will get you there. Those steps matter. If you just stay committed, not making, if you just stay committed to making better choices, day after day, eventually you look back and you realize that those ordinary moments, lead you to your extraordinary life that you are doing today. So because big transformation don't usually start with big actions, they start with a small intentional choice, and repeatedly, and you do it consistently. So I hope so, that you keep doing what you're doing. You're in a good step.
Thank you, Jesse. So Jesse just talked about extraordinary results begin with ordinary choices. So just like Jesse mentioned, thinking about, for example, baking a cake. Okay, so you don't put all the ingredients at once, right? Um, and expect to have a beautiful cake. You have to put it little by little, right? One by one. So that's the same thing, for ourselves. If you wanna shape our future, we have to put those small decisions, for example, choices that we decide, to be able to help us build that future for, like, just like Jesse mentioned, reading a book that will help you, to move you towards that future that you want to build. And Jesse also mentioned um, small choices, big results. So there you go. It's about the choices that we made and the decision we made that will keep us moving forward. All right. So, what is our key takeaway for this topic today?
Okay, today's conversation reminds us that we don't need to make massive changes overnight to begin creating a better future. Sometimes the most powerful thing we can do is simply choose one positive habit and repeat it tomorrow and the next day and the next after that. Small habits, small improvements, small victories. Over time, they become extraordinary results. And remember this, the future you are hoping for is often built through the small decisions you make every single day. So keep learning, keep growing, keep showing up because consistency has the power to transform ordinary days into extraordinary lives.
Thank you, Isabel. So, yeah, so that's our key takeaway for this topic. And now, what is our message for or a reflective question for the audience?
As you reflect on today's conversation, ask yourself, what is one small daily habit you can begin today that your future self will thank you for? Sometimes the smallest decision becomes the biggest turning point.
Thank you, Daxi. So, yeah, so that's our reflective question for our audience. And we have arrived to the end of our lives. So, we hope so that you learn something about why small daily habits often create those extraordinary results. Remember, extraordinary results are rarely created by one big moment. Instead, they are built through the small habits, the small consistency choices that we made, and the daily actions that over time help us to transform our future and the person we want to become. So that's for that. So now let's find out what is our topic for next Monday.
Our topic for next Monday will be why growth begins when we become willing to learn something new.
Thank you, Connie. Yes, so that's our topic for next Monday. So it will be a conversation about curiosity, lifelong learning, adaptability, and how one new skill can create opportunities you never expected. So there you go. So we have arrived to the end of our lives. We want to say thank you to everyone that has watched the live with us today. For those catching the replay, thank you so much. And to our followers, thank you so much for being part of our journey, for believing in us, and for interacting with our content. So we want to wish everyone a happy and blessed Tuesday for those who are on Tuesday, and a happy and blessed Wednesday for those who are on Wednesday, and a happy and rest of the week for everyone. So thank you again for being here with us, and we'll see you again in our next episode of the Global Digital Success Talk. Thank you, everyone. God bless you all. And thank you for watching.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Bye.